pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Taken in at the 3. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. They find some open field here. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Vikings 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Cousins
to Jefferson on the slant.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
They'll run with Cook, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 19 carries, 92 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Stepping up, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Kirk Cousins scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He's brought down at the 31. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd.
This time Jackson will throw it. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
1st and 10.
First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
A first down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 3 yards the gain there, second down. We're seeing quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. Break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure.
And a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Vikings.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Second and 11.
Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Jalen Ferguson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
27-yard line.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
It was D.J. Jones who was there for the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Throwing on second down. Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now, after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they work this well upfield across the 45. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3.
First carry now for Gus Edwards. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
That's good.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
He's brought down at the 31. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
From the 31, Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Brings up 30.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They run with Edwards. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Ball carrier.
Tackle made by Marcus Golden.
On the stop. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the Vikings' 11-yard line.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
10. Ravens nothing.
2nd and 8.
Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
On 3rd down, Jackson. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brought down at the 30-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Jackson.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he stopped immediately there.
Ingram, the ball carrier.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 8.
Jackson, draw play to Dobbins.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun.
Open man is Duvernay.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Ravens 6.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
To Justin Jefferson. A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 31-yard line.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
The line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
2nd and 10.
You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
From the gun, Jackson. Flushed out right. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing just about on his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
2nd and 4.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson's
pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. That's taken in by Duvernay.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. I'll give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Another catch.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
DJ Jones
busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play.
Tucker on for the field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9.
Vikings 10. Ravens 9.
So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll get things started in the NFC. Seattle paying a visit to Detroit. And it's the Seahawks who are out in front in the second quarter. DK Metcalf, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Derek Carr, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far, as he's thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. The Bucs trying to finish that one off and claim victory. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. His guys lead, though, by only a point. It's been a tight one. As for the start of the third quarter, we'll send it back to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 40 yards.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
At the 23-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. On the handoff, Edwards. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
The tackle by Denzel Perryman. It's a gain of 6.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
A gain of 4.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on Lamar Jackson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
3rd and 7.
Here's Jackson on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Jackson to Boykin, 1st down, Baltimore.
1st and 10.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a run with Edwards. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 38, Jackson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Intended for
they come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
3rd and
from the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The ball carrier. Patrick Queen on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
On play action, Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
First down, here's Cousins. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Third and long for Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A first down there on a pickup of 25. It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had one tight end and went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage. and you'll see more big plays from the wide receivers downfield.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
The ball carrier.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. From the 9, second and 5. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson doing it himself from 9 yards out. And the Ravens have taken the lead. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1. And in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That keeps the score. Ravens 15.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And able to get this out to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The Cook getting the call there on first down as he works his way forward for a nice gain of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a second and 5.
Brings up second and 5.
Now the second down throw on target. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
To Justin Jefferson.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Vikings 10.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Cousins to throw it. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And the Vikings first down.
On first and 10, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4.
At the 45.
And off comes to Cook. How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
At the 44-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
They run it again with Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's now.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. That's the important thing. They currently have the best record among the wild card contenders, but they want to make sure they finish this season strong.
And isn't that the case each and every year about one division?
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
That's good for a Baltimore Raven.
When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
Well, that's the fear any defense has. When the quarterback gets involved in the running game, you don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 12 at the 19-yard line. They'll go again with Dobbins.
And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Vikings 10.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
1st and 10. At their own 24-yard line.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Brings up 2nd and
that's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 37. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll throw again. Cousins. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Ravens have got it.
a fumble on the
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the.
They'll try to run some clock with Ingram. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He'll look to throw right away. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That is 3 plays.
4th down, Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They keep the game alive, at least for... Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here trying to preserve the lead. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. On 2nd down now, it's Edwards. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And they take a knee. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short, and he is short. Well, they turn to their bigger body there on the dive. Fullback dive, just couldn't get it done.
And sometimes even that bigger body needs even bigger bodies to help him get there. They weren't able to create a crease for him, ended up not getting the 1st down.
And incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Baltimore, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.